Let's talk about Gavin Newsome and why I think what he's doing is not going to resonate with the average American voter. Gabe the Great here, former cult leader and leader of the new pro-human political party, here to discuss some of the problems with America's current political landscape and how our new party solves these problems. So if you haven't been paying attention or haven't been on X, which I could totally understand why you haven't been on X, Governor Gavin Newsome of California has been doing this, right? These little Donald Trump impersonations all week, and basically saying, hey, if Texas is going to gerrymander their whole state so that Republicans do it, then we here in California, we're going to do the same thing so that we're going to gerrymander our state so that Democrats retain power. And on top of that, he's been doing stuff like this where he's basically imitating Donald Trump, talking in all caps, making fun of, mocking people, right? And, just sort of imitating Donald Trump and basically saying, hey, if you guys are going to do this, we can do it too. Now, I think this perfectly encapsulates the problem that American politics have had for a very long time, which is that our politicians don't care about us. They only care about power. So Gavin Newsome doesn't want to gerrymander his state for the people. He wants to gerrymander the state for his party. All acts of gerrymandering is an act of voter suppression. So the way that you beat voter suppression is not with more voter suppression. And see, that is the problem with our current political climate, is that neither of the parties, Republican or Democrats, actually, they're not making moves for the people. They're making moves to manipulate the people. It doesn't matter if you're gerrymandering for the Republicans or gerrymandering for the Democrats. You are still engaging in voter suppression. And voter suppression is wrong and cannot be tolerated in a healthy democracy. Democrats should not and cannot get on board with the voter suppression of Gavin Newsome. This is why in our party, if you look down there at core right number 5, we believe that dissent is sacred. You should have a right to be a conservative. You should have a right to be a liberal. You should have a right to be a centrist. And your vote should not be suppressed in a state simply because a certain political party wants power. If you're a Democrat trying to suppress the votes of Republicans, you're not for the people. And if you're a Republican trying to suppress the votes of Democrats, you're not for the people. You do not believe in democracy. You only believe in power, and you will do whatever you need to get the power. Politics in America has become nothing more than a manipulation game for power. What do I need to say to get the people to vote for me? What do I need to do to keep power? What loopholes do I need to do to ensure that I retain power? This is why in the pro-human political party, we affirm that the purpose of government is not to preserve power, but to nourish human flourishing. And our core value is that human dignity is sacred. When you are engaging in voter suppression, whether you're doing that with a blue tie or a red tie, you are stripping Americans of their dignity. You are telling the Americans in your state who do not agree with you that they have no voice. You're telling the conservatives that live in the state of California, your voice doesn't matter. You are telling the Democrats in the state of the Democrats in the state of Texas, your voice does not matter. And in doing so, your government is stripping you of human dignity. This is why the pro-human political party proposes something called covenantal government. And it's this new way of looking at government. Instead of the government being above the people, the government up here, the people's down here, we view the entirety of society as a circle, and the government is a little portion of that circle. The group of human beings who have made a covenant, they've made a pledge to uphold the rest of the country's rights, values, and laws. That's not what's happening in the United States of America. Neither party is trying to uphold the rights, values, and laws of the people. What they are trying to do is retain power for their party. They just want to win. They just want power. And this is the issue with American politics. Listen, guys, we have the 4th largest country on the planet Earth in terms of landmass. You are outside of your mind if you think the way to lead 330 million people is with one party's way. That's why we must preserve dissent. We must preserve diversity. That means that we cannot let our parties get so extreme they basically win by making us hate each other. That's why we're in this situation, because the two political parties, they have found out that there is more power for their party in division than it is in actually upholding the values, rights, and laws of the people. So I even imagine that one day the pro-human party will have a left-leaning or progressive or liberal side of it. And I also believe that the pro-human party one day will have a right-leaning, conservative, or even a centrist side of it. Because what the Americans need in Oklahoma is different than what the Americans need in California, which is different than what the Americans want in Oregon, which is different than what the Americans want in New York or Texas or Georgia or wherever. We are a very diverse population of people. And instead of trying to divide each other to get power, our politicians need to be finding ways to unite us. So for the pro-human political party, how we solve this issue is we start with a baseline. Human dignity is non-negotiable. We do not negotiate with the right or the left on human dignity. And any form of gerrymandering is voter suppression, and voter suppression strips people of human dignity.